So, welcome to part 2. If you can remember part 1, we got to a point where we were looking at the Confederate turn facing off against the Zouaves on the other side of the fence to the side of the little house. So that's where we're going to pick it up. We'll just go through the armies again, just so that if you're coming from the first video, or if this is the first video you pick up, you can understand that what the troops are involved in. It's 35 points a side, and let's have a look at what the armies are as we've going forward. Greetings from the Eccentric Man, and tonight we are down at Lost Ark Games again with John, and hopefully Steve, the owner, who can come in and take control of his command. We're having a go at Rebels and Patriots again tonight. We've upped the numbers. What number what are we doing now? About 40 points?
We worked out 35 points, something like that. 35
points for each command. So, and we are going to introduce cannons to see how they work this time around. So the scenario is one from the book, and it's fighting over the farm. And I think John was saying that it represents an action in the Battle of Newmarket. So that's what we've got for the table. Open land with a bit of fencing. There's a little orchard, bit of wood, and a little farmstead in the middle. So let's have a look at what we're going to be using. So this is the Union force, and it is broken down into two commands, John and Steve's, and John's going to go through what's in each of the commands. So let's start from your command, John.
Okay, just make sure I've got the right bit of paper here. Yep. So we've got Steve's command. I'll do Steve's
right,
first.
Steve's is the bigger one.
This one's the bigger one. So he's got 2 units of normal troops and 1 unit of green troops.
Yeah.
They've got firing of 6 and fighting of 5.
Yeah.
But the green are obviously -1 morale.
Yeah.
And also he's got a medium gun, which is normal morale.
Rightio.
Then on this side, on my command...
Oh, your paper's in the way, huh?
Sorry.
Yeah, that's right, go.
On my command, we've got 2 units of veteran infantry, which is what they've been through the whole campaign, and also a normal medium gun attached to them.
Right, okay, and you've got a commander and Steve's got a commander?
There's 1 commander there and 1 commander here.
Rightio. And Steve's commander, what is his special trait? I'm trying to remember.
Can't remember.
There was one, wasn't there? Right, and your one?
My special trait was just more honour.
More honour, right.
Peacock, more honour.
Right, Peacock, more honour. And we'll move across to the Confederates, which I'll be taking tonight. There should have been another chap, but unfortunately he couldn't make it tonight, so I'm taking 1 command with my officer. And my officer has green recruiter, so he must have a green unit. But looking at the numbers that I've got, I think I've probably got quite a few green units.
You have, basically. All your units are the same as the last battle.
Oh, right, yeah.
So good at firing. Okay, you're good at firing and not good at shooting, but -1 discipline.
Right.
Not quite sure what happened there, because it should be the other way round.
Okay, what have I got? So I'm not so good at fighting.
You're not so good at fighting, but you're good at firing, but it should actually be the other way round.
Would it matter much?
Yeah, because at this period they weren't very good at shots.
So no, I was thinking point-wise. Is it the same?
Point exactly the same.
So, right, just change it straight away. Just change it straight away.
Yeah.
So they're going to be not so good at firing, but better at fighting.
Yes.
Okay, so they're all at that -1 discipline.
Yeah, and the gun, 1 gun is -1 discipline.
And 1 gun
is that attached to that command.
Right.
And then the other command. Now we've played.
Do I have another command?
You would have had another command.
Right. Okay.
But you're going to be controlling it.
Yeah.
So that your commander will control this unit.
Yeah.
But these units have fought in another battle.
Right.
The previous battles we've been fighting. Because I think this is the 5th battle now I've actually fought.
Okay.
And they have done every battle so far. The Confederates drew the first battle.
Yeah.
And they won the next 3. So actually we've done 4. This is the 5th. So what I've done was I've changed that particular unit.
Yeah.
I've upped their morale.
You're right. Okay.
Because they're got a bit more morale now. They've won 3 battles. So they're actually 0 discipline, not -1.
0 discipline, not -1, yeah.
Firing 6, fighting 5.
Okie dokie.
And you've got a normal medium gun as well with it.
Okay, right. So those are the 2 forces. So we're going to deploy them out and then start turn 1. We've got to have a quick look at the rules, because I'm up against the fence and I want to charge the unit over there. And John's having a quick look in the rule books because he thinks
might not be a quick look. It might be a little
it
bit.
Might be a little bit of time. So
There you go. Found it.
Yep.
You've got to find the right bit in it.
I'll pause for the moment.
Yep. So we've had a little look. We've had a little look through the book, and we think, yep, perfectly okay to charge across. But for charging, it's got to be an activation test, and you move your distance for the activation test numbers.
Yes. You got roll to pass.
So I've got a roll to pass. Let's see if we can get the dice in the view. Sorry, I'm
down
shaking
one
it.
and up one. 6.
Yes.
Yes.
So I rolled a 6. So I'm down 1, back up to 6. And I contact. Yeehaw! So, charging, you get 12 dice. My attack factor is 5. John's is 5 as well. However, because I successfully charged, mine goes to 4 to hit. So we'll be rolling 12 dice to get 4s, and John's rolling 12 dice to get 5. So let's have a look and see what comes up. The Confederates have rolled their dice, needing 4s, and I've got 8, which was quite nice. And John rolled his dice and scored 3. So, John.
For every 2
Yup.
is a kill.
Every 2 is a kill. So
I kill 1 of yours and you kill 4 of mine.
Oh, that sounds good. Wow. And then it's a morale test, isn't it?
Not immediately, no.
No?
Not immediately. After the combat,
Yep.
I have to retreat 3 inches. Then I take a morale check.
Alright, yeah.
So I go back 3 inches
Yo.
away from the enemy.
Yep, 3 inches away from the enemy.
Okay. You take off 1 man.
I take 1 man off.
Right. Now I take a morale check
Yep, at -4.
at -4. 6. Discipline takes him to 7. Commander takes him to 8.
And -4 takes you to 4.
And -4 takes me to 4. Which means morale, they get 1 disorder.
Disorder.
So they now stay there disordered.
They stay there disordered. And I have to take a morale check because I lost 1 man.
Yes.
So I'm on -2, up 1 to -1 because of the officer.
Yes. So you roll your dice.
And do I get a +1 for winning?
No. There's a bonus for winning, but roll your dice.
Okay, right. I shall roll the dice. I'll have to have a look. How many dice am I rolling? 2.
2 dice.
Right, let's have a look and see what we do.
Right. Well, you got.
Oh, right, look, double 6. I rolled a double 6. Did I roll a double 6?
Okay,
Oh,
well,
what a
2
surprise
things-
is that?
2 things are now going to happen.
2 things are going to happen.
First thing is you roll on your thing to see what you get.
Do I? Because it's a morale check, so I don't.
No, you don't. No, you don't check.
Yeah.
Sorry, you are right. But you are aggressive.
I am.
So that means you now can follow up.
Oh, follow up and charge them again.
If I had been forced back,
Yeah.
I'd have been out of 3 inches. But
Right.
I'm still within 3 inches. You can actually follow up now. So you follow up
Yeehaw! Follow up.
and you do a second round of combat.
We do a second round of combat.
Yep.
And we confiscate your dice.
Oh dear. Right, okay then, let's roll the dice again and see what we get.
Now, I unfortunately am down to 6 dice
Yeah,
because I've got this. Because I've got me disordered.
and I'm up to 12 dice.
And you're still on 12.
Still on 12.
But you don't. You are now 5 or 6, and I'm 5 or 6. Because
5 or
you're now
6.
Not charging.
Go what I've rolled there.
I've got nothing.
I've got 3 6s.
Right, so that's 1 more dead.
1 more dead.
And I now take a second morale check.
Right, but you didn't kill any of me this time, did you? No.
So you don't have to take a morale
Right,
check.
second morale check for you.
Now I'm now -1 on this. So I've done
Dear.
So I've done 5. +1 because of the discipline takes them to 6. +1 because the other takes them to 7. -1 for that means I pass the morale.
Oh, you're
I
lucky.
retreat 3 inches.
Yep.
I go back another 3 inches because I lost it.
But no disorder marker.
But no disorder marker because I passed my morale. Oh, no, give us that.
Oh, one, yeah, one.
I think I failed. What did I roll?
5.
5. 6, 7, 6 for the casualty, -2 because I should have now a permanent marker.
Yeah.
I've gone down to
Yeah.
6. So basically, I failed.
Yes.
Which means I get another disorder marker.
And they rout.
Which means they've got 3, so they have routed.
Glad you remembered that. That one for
Casualty.
Just out.
Well, just out.
Yeah.
Casualty and also the permanent marker.
Yeah, the permanent marker. Oh, that was a handy
And
one.
that's not my command. I've only got that left.
Yep.
So they got a check.
Yeah. Oh, they love it.
Eh,
Throwed an 11. They loved
Yeah.
it. Well, that was very interesting for a Confederate point of view. Yeah. So that's the end of turn 8 or 7,
Yep.
whichever. So end of turn 7, and that was a bit of a swing around on this flank. The Confederate charge and taking out the Zouaves was a real bonus, considering what happened to the rest of the Confederates. So, yeah, bit of disorder in there. That's a nice bit of disorder there, but sadly I reckon Steve may well rally, but he's got one permanent disorder marker on them because they're down to 6. The Zouaves on the top are still firing nicely, and the cannon's still in play. But over here, the Confederate right-hand flank is a bit wobbly, but it's doing a bit of damage on that side. But even so, I still think we're looking at the objective, which is having units at the farm, and possibly, I don't know, because I can't remember what the objectives are of the game.
Basically, as it stands now, that's contested.
That's
Because they're both
contested.
within 3
Yep,
inches
yep,
of it.
yep.
This one we have because we're the only troops that are within 3 inches of it.
Right, so I've got to try and get somebody within 3 inches of that.
So that will give us 2 honour.
So, yeah, that's good luck on that one then. Okay, well, we'll see what we can do going into turn 8.
Fold like
Well,
a paper bag.
you may be thinking that's double 1, and that's not very good, and you would be right. That's my officer casualty. So you take the casualty before you take the morale test, and now I've got to take a morale test.
Yes.
Yep, at minus lots.
-1 for the permanent disorder and 3 for the free casualties that just inflicted on you.
But what about the officer?
It was doesn't actually get any. You don't get any.
Oh, you don't get an extra,
No.
so I'm at -4.
-4. However,
I'm not going up one.
at what point? No, it's all right. What point? But you also got a test because your officer has been removed as a casualty.
Yes.
For your whole army.
Yes.
So you do that at the same time.
What? Okay, but I've got to do a morale test for this unit.
Right. So basically, if the unit has to take 2 morale tests, which it has, it only ever takes 1 morale
Right,
test.
okay.
But you get an extra -1 for the second morale test you would have taken.
Right, so I'm
you've
on
got to take a morale test for being
-5.
shot at and a morale test for your officer.
Yeah,
But you don't do that. You just take the 1 for being shot at. You get an extra -1.
so that's -5
So
then.
you're on -5 whatever you roll.
Easy.
You're on 4.
Could have been a lot worse.
Could have been a lot worse.
Yeah, all good. A roll of 9.
You're on 4,
Yep.
which gives you another
And retreat
retreat 3 inches.
3 inches.
And you're broken. So you've got to try and rally him next.
So I'm going to be back over the fence,
Yeah, you've got to try and rally now.
and next turn I've got to try and rally.
Yes.
Oh well,
Okay, and now every other unit in
Oops.
your army,
could have been worse.
Yeah, I thought we were going to lose that one then.
every other unit has now got a test.
Every unit's got a test. Okay then.
See in general.
Rightio.
Once you do it.
Got to do some dice rolling now for the rest of the
Well,
army.
that was quite bad news, really, for the Confederates, because we've got. Well, I suppose it's pretty good. These passed their test. These passed their test. This unit passed its test. This one did as well. The unit in the woods passed their test, but the ones which had 2 disorder points, they didn't. So they routed, which meant I had to do some more testing for these people, but they survived. But that was just John's shooting from the hill. So now we've got to move on to Steve's turn 8 shooting, or actions, and let's see what he does. Well, end of turn 8 for the Union, and that's seeing the Confederate right flank pushed back on that side. They're not liking the artillery piece. However, the unit, both of the Union units here, Steve's command, failed their activation test. So they just twiddling their thumbs. So we're going into the Confederates' turn 8, which is a bit of a tricky one, because we've lost 3 units now. And looking at the objectives is looking pretty hard.
So we're going to see what we can do. So, at the end of turn 8 for the Confederates, the artillery piece had to fire at the other artillery piece because that was the closest. Hit it, but didn't do enough to cause a casualty. This unit here failed their activation test. Sadly, the guys here shooting across because they had a disorder marker. Only 6 men firing. Didn't do enough to cause a casualty on them, which was a bit of a shame. And the artillery piece was obviously picking their nose and not paying attention because they failed to hit the Union unit. And these ones over here, I can't remember what I did with these.
You rallied them?
Yeah, you rallied them.
Rallied them, that's it, because they had the marker, didn't they? And a unit disappeared because they had too many disorders and they had shot and lost another one. So that's that. End of turn 8, and really, we've got a dice roll, haven't we? Yeah, roll a dice. I can't remember what it was.
It's 14, haven't we?
Yeah.
So 13.
13. However, I think the Confederates are going to have to concede here because I don't think I can really do anything.
No, let's go.
Do you want to carry on?
Yeah, because it can make a difference to the honour because we need to get more points.
Oh, honour, right. Okay, so we will continue on and we might get something with the cannons. Who knows? Okay then, into turn 9 for the Union. So apparently I can't concede because there's an honour at stake. So John took a shot at the artillery piece, caused 2 casualties, and they failed, so they were off. Which meant I had to take a morale test for the rest of the army, which gave a couple disorder markers.
That's because you went below...
Because I went below 50% of my whole army. So what we have over here is these have taken some shots as well from the cannon and the infantry who were in close order and volley firing. They received a 2nd pin, which meant that they were broken and retreated 3. And obviously the double 1 didn't help those ones, so they took a couple of disorder markers and retreated as well. So into turn 9 for the Confederates, and looking very bleak. So, end of turn 9, and the passing shot of the artillery does more casualties to the Union command, passes his test to survive, but they do get broken with the extra disorder and they retreat 3. We've rallied the units over on this side and we're all rallied on this, but we are now just rolling to see what happens now. 4.
The game would carry on.
Game would carry on, however I have decided to concede because at least I can escape with some units still intact. And we'll see what happens to the officers. So, end of the game. We just had a little thinks about the game and how it was running. And I think it was it's difficult for the Confederates with so many green units. But again, we're playing it as the early part of the war, so the Confederates are green at this stage. So it did cause a little bit of trouble on this left-hand side. Obviously, it didn't save me getting my officer killed because that was my double 1 roll. So yeah, this side did think initially we were going to play two opponents each side, but the chap who was going to come down for me couldn't make it, so I just had the 1 commander on my side, and I think that may have affected it as well. So things that we think about for our next big game that we're looking at in a couple of weeks' time. So I have to have a consideration on that, I think.
Yep.
So we're now looking at the end of the game roundup and different things for the officers.
So, because your officer got taken off as a casualty...
He did get taken as a casualty.
What happens to him, to roll 2d6.
2d6. I'm hoping that he gets a wooden leg. I've got a character with a wooden leg. I can make a character with a wooden leg.
Okay.
6. I think that's a wooden leg, isn't it?
No. He's been wounded.
Eye patch.
And he's been rescued by his loyal soldiers.
They were good.
This officer will recover in time for the next game.
Excellent.
So your general is your officer's
Virgil's alright.
He's fine.
Good.
Now
He can ride the Denver train again.
points wise,
Yep.
honour. It was 2 points for each building, so we've controlled both buildings.
Yeah.
So we both get 4 points each.
Yeah.
For honour.
Do I get a medal? Medal of honour for being wounded in battle? got to be a medal
Now,
for getting wounded in battle.
33% casualties. Well, we definitely did it on you.
Yes, yes.
So we both get another honour.
Yep.
So that takes us to 5 honour.
Yeah.
And now, have we lost 33% of our units?
Oh, I don't think so.
That's the thing.
No.
I've lost 1 Zouave unit,
That's the only unit we lost.
which is
isn't
6
That is the
points.
only unit that you've lost.
So that's okay. So
Yeah.
that means you don't gain anything, but we gain another 2 honour
You
because we
sure?
managed to.
I don't get no honour for my officer being
No
wounded.
honour-
That is
no,
very
sorry,
sad.
Sorry,
it?
if you'd rolled on the
No
chart,
honour in that.
if you'd rolled on,
He was carried away, not run
you
away.
can get honour if you rolled on there
Yeah,
successfully.
yeah.
So we get another 2 honour. So it
Yep.
takes us to 7 honour each.
7 honour for
Now
yourselves.
that takes me to 32
Really?
honour.
Yep.
My officer. So I now get another trait.
Uh-huh.
And I go up to +3. So let's see what my new trait is. First dice is a 3.
3.
Second dice is a 4. I'm now strategist.
Oh, so you can move a unit as well.
Yes.
God dear. No hope for the Confederates now.
So I'm now strategist. And that's that.
Okie
And
dokie.
that's the end of the battle.
Rightio.
I agree with what you were saying though.
I think so, yeah, just on that.
Wanted to see how it was bigger units because we're fielding 35. They're also
Yeah.
25. We're doing 35. Because they were having a big battle in 2 weeks' time and wanted to see how it works.
That's it. So it's a matter of
But,
testing it out, isn't
I
it?
think for every sort of 18 to 24 points, you need to have a commander
Yeah.
in charge of that company. You need to split it into companies.
Yep. Yeah, I think that's about right. Oh well, thank you very much, gentlemen.
That's all right.
We will rise and fight again.
Yes.
Well, I think John was a little bit down on the night with the end of the game. I think he thought we were not as enjoying it as much as we did the previous game, and to a degree we didn't. But it did make me think about the game and what we're playing. Just a little thought. I've played competition wargaming for 25 years, and very little narrative and campaign games. We've dabbled, but not done very much. And I was thinking this at the end of this game and into the next day. It was more or less true to life because I was putting green troops up the centre to fight in the buildings where and cross over that fence where you've got the Union, and green troops are not really going to be wanting to cross that fence into the firing line unless they've got an officer present. And they did charge. The officers' unit charged over the fence and took out the Zouaves. However, on the right-hand flank, there was no officer on my sort of seasoned men. And they wandered up the flank but couldn't go further. They didn't have the officers to boost them on. And that was probably more like real life as well. So we've got to start to think. It's a narrative-based campaign, and that's what we're looking at. It's the story that we're telling, and it's the officers that are in there and how they progress. So that's what we've got to bear in mind. It's that story that counts, and looking at the figures. Did they do that? Why didn't they do that? And there's probably going to be some little explanation that could have happened in real life, like them not charging the full distance. The officer tripped and they thought he was shot, so they faltered. So it's those little things that we've got to throw in to think about the narrative to enjoy the game. And it's one game of a campaign, and you don't always win. A draw might be okay, but you never know what's going to happen in the next game. So yeah, interesting things ahead. More games to play, I think. And I have ordered, and they have arrived, my British Intervention Force for Canada, 1862. So here's a picture of them. They're the Perry figures, and I'm hoping that I can paint them up as well as these. That might be a bit tricky, though. So these are really nice, and I'm hoping that mine will get somewhere to it. Anyway, hope you enjoyed part 2, and we've got another game coming up very soon. And keep your eyes peeled for that. So thanks very much for watching, and once again, if you liked it, give it a tick, comment as you always do, and I always answer, and subscribe if you haven't for more videos to come. So thanks very much, and take care.